Today I am going to continue 7 strategies of dealing with taints and mental impurities as explained by Buddha in the Sabbasava Sutta discourse. Yesterday we have started explaining about unique attributes of the Bojjhangas, known as the fetter of enlightenment. Today I'm going to continue to explain all those 7 factors of enlightenment because it is necessary for the meditators to be familiar with those fetters of enlightenment. 7 fetters of enlightenment do be developed in a meditator's mind. These are positive mental qualities, very essential for attainment of lasting calm and peace of the consciousness, and also for the development of lasting insight, knowledge, by means of which a meditator can enter into the path and fruition knowledge and blissful peace of the Nibbana and set himself free from incidents of the endless negative mental states and suffering. As I mentioned in previous days, nobody can escape from suffering in the world as long as there's the body as a way of physical existence. For the enlightened saints and for those who are on spiritual path, who have been practicing mindfulness meditation for a longer period of times, their mental conditions become more enlightened in terms of being able to see their emotions clearly, and in terms of being able to manage and reduce those kind of negative mental states. This is the great advantage in living daily life. Most people who never have any kind of knowledge or information about mindfulness meditation, who never practiced before, their mental state is like a dusty place. The moment the winds blow, when the weather is hot, the dust storms will always come up. The mind is like the dust, very fragile, easily irritated, easily disturbed. Because the mind, the consciousness by itself, is so fast and so volatile, like the air and the gas, unstable gas. And to this world, any smart businessman, scientist, who can harness to manage the gas, that volatile gas, by means of science, can even become a millionaire. You see the nitrogen gas, ammonia, etc. They are big business in the world. Their gas turnover is millions and millions of dollars every year. They get such benefit because they are able to capture and keep that gas in a vessel, in a container, so that it is applicable for everyday needs in the hospitals, in the industrial use, etc. In the same way, the mind is a very wonderful energy. You should not forget it. Never ignore that you are a very wonderful individual being who possesses this wonderful, unique energy, unique power known as consciousness. Our physical bodies are nothing without consciousness. And consciousness too is nothing by itself without the physical back self known as the body. They mutually interact and complement each other to make an existence complete and whole. The purpose of meditation is very clear: to harness that mental energy, to capture it, to develop it into positive mental states, in a continuous and consistent degree. Most people, their positive mental states are very much temporary. It comes and goes, such as the feeling of joy and the feeling of peace. And those kind of positive feeling and positive experience are like the fleeting and passing dreams and the fleeting and passing ones. And many commoners in the world, in the everyday society, they're trying to capture and pursue after it by physical means. On the other hand, the meditator is just trying to harness that spiritual energy and trying to develop more positive, continual occurrence of those positive mental states by using his own mind, by transforming it as a wholesome mindfulness, which is detached from I and me. Setting aside the notions I and me are very necessary in meditation process. Otherwise, one keep holding it the moment it runs fast and fast. Without that notion of I and me, one is able to observe it very calmly and in a very relaxed and detached manner, unlike the way you are able to do research in a laboratory. You can see in the laboratory, a scientist has no expectation, no assumption. He just only do necessary research without clinging to any particular perspective. He just only use scientific principle and just only expect what will come out of his experiment. In the same way, a meditator needs to have this detached attitudes. It's very important attitude. That's why meditation teacher always recommend to set aside the notions of I and me temporarily during the stay in the center, so that one can observe all the phenomena, all the feeling, all the wandering thoughts, all the emotions, without claiming the ownership of it. It's a really wonderful training and wonderful exploration. If you can use a balanced mental attitudes and balanced mental conditions in your practice, you will surely enjoy and you will surely progress in your spiritual training. Now let me continue what Buddha has said. And we have to pick up where we left yesterday. I have explained the attributes of the Bojjhanga and the first Bojjhanga, Sati-san Bojjhanga. Now let me recap what I had said regarding this last point. Katameja Bhikkhvi Aswa Bhavana Bhadava. Disciple, what taints and impurities are to be removed by means of development. Here in this world, a disciple, he meditator, use his knowledge and wisdom to develop sati bodhanga, the mindfulness which can lead to the attainment of the insight knowledge and path and fruition knowledge. And we will go Nisida, the mindfulness he develops, always inclined to develop viveka. I interpret as a study as a removal or isolation. There are 5 kinds of the removal. One is called Dringa Viveka, temporary removal, temporary isolation. Vekamna Viveka, sustained removal, which lasts for a certain period of time, which is much stronger. Samocheda Viveka, removal by means of totally cutting off, totally written off. Patsati Viveka, removal by being away from that impurity which having removed. Nesrana Viveka, the fifth we got. Totally total removal and total exit, total exclusion from mental impurities. In this case, of these 5 kinds of removal, the first 2 are very important. Temporary removal and sustained removal. Temporary removal is which meditators frequently experience in the course of their meditation training. For example, when a meditator can maintain continuous mindfulness consistently and relentlessly, without any interruption, without any miss of the observation, then he's already experiencing the temporary removal of the impurities, impure mental state, impure and negated mental states. So it is within easy access of every meditator if they make serious and balanced effort in their practice. Every act of noting, every act of being mindful is temporary removal of the mental impurities, mental traits. On the initial days, I have explained at some point about the difference between purification of the mind and purification of the all physical material things, such as clothing and cleaning of the floor, etc. When you are doing cleaning and purifying of the physical stuff, you can see the progress because it is a physical thing, visible thing. You use detergent agents, salt, water, and effort. Nowadays, washing machines are invented in wide use. So you don't worry about that. You just put everything in the machine and you add just only necessary amount of detergent and you turn on the machine. So it is very effortless, and you may not understand the way the ancient people clean their clothes. They have to first soak the clothes in the water by putting some sort of salt powder or natural detergent available through the art, such as the ash, etc. And they wait certain times, and maybe 3 hours, 1 hour, so that all the stains become fully soaked and fully penetrated by the air and water and detergent. Only after that they take out and they just put it on the slabs of the stone, and they strike with some pestle and some hard woods, and they just repeatedly do this. And they just put it in the water pail, and they just bring out and squeeze it, and they check how much impurities are removed. It's very labor-intensive interior process before the washing machines are invented. And the same way, a meditator has to make continual efforts in observing all the mental phenomena and physical phenomena. There's another analogy regarding meditation said by the teacher. It is about making fire. In ancient time, when the modern gas lighters are in wide use invented, people have to use very basic thing, a flame stove, a piece of cotton, and other hard objects. They have to rub these hard objects, flame stone and flame, repeatedly, patiently. After constant pushing and striking all the two hard objects, heat is created. Out of that heat and friction, generated by constant friction of the hand effort, sparks come out. A bright spark come out. This is how the fire is made in ancient time. After continual and constant patient pushing and striking of the two hard objects, the spark come out. In the same way, the insight knowledge come up only after repeated effort of the noting of the mental phenomena, physical phenomena. This analogy may be difficult for some people to understand. What it means is that one need to make continual and consistent effort of noting and meditation. That noting should be relaxed. That noting should be balanced, neither pushing or rushing too much, neither forcing oneself too much, just in a very relaxed and peaceful manner, without even thinking that I am trying to meditate, I am meditating, etc. You just do it, this kind of relaxed attitude in your meditation, and your meditation will be smooth and progress effortlessly. And later on, with such a continual and consistent noting, and the mind remaining calm and without wandering too much, and necessary amount of positive mental states will develop, such as purity of the mind, clarity of the mind, and concentration of the mind, and also the ability of the mind to pick up whatever mental and physical objects come up. You will note such kind of progress slowly. And then you will have wonderful things, wonderful experience coming up after you have such accumulated post-settlement energy. This is how a meditation looks like. A meditator need to make patient effort in his effort. So this way, one can experience Tathanga Viveka, temporary isolation, temporary removal of the impurities, mental impurities. Now we come now Viveka, sustained removal and isolation of the mental dense impurities from one's consciousness is another thing which is a little bit advanced. This can happen to long-term committed meditators who have made substantial progress in their practice. And it can also happen to those who have attained rupa jhana and material absorption state, which are advanced state of pure consciousness. There are four kinds of material absorptions, rupa jhana states, and four kinds of immaterial formless arupa jhana states. Most meditators can achieve up to second jhanas if they strive. If they strive properly and systematically by making balanced effort. When a meditator achieves such kind of sustained concentration and peaceful state of their practice, they can sit for long hours without feeling pain. Please know that Vipassana meditation is quite different from samatha meditation. In samatha meditation, the focus is on the development of the concentration and to sustain it, to keep it longer, so that that concentration becomes powerful and leading to attainment of the absorption state jhanas. In Vipassana meditation, a meditator has to note whatever object appears, pains, mental states, and hearing sounds. If there's nothing to note, even the knowing consciousness becomes the object of meditation. You may be amazed to hear that. This is called pure mind meditation. Pure mind, very positive mind, very calm, very peaceful mind itself is observing that mind. When this happens, some wonderful manifestation of the consciousness usually appear. The mind itself is seen as a continual flow, which arises and passes peacefully ad infinitum and continuously, without end, without stop. So let me explain that Vaikamana Viveka, known as sustained removal, is much long-lasting one. Some people, as long as they are able to attain the jhana states and remain in jhana state, as long as a committed meditator practice meditation on regular basis, he will notice anger and desire, craving, all those noticeable emotions will become less and less. he will be able to withstand every kind of temptation and provocation. Temptation and provocation come from one's own mind sometimes, and sometimes they come from outside external objects. One will be able to handle all those things without having incidents of the negative mental states. And this is what Vikimna Vika means. Now the third, Smochira Vika, total removal. This is occur by means of but intuition knowledge. When a person attains but intuition knowledge, certain specific kind of defilements and samyojana or fetters are totally removed. Those fetters, those mental entity which have removed, when a person attains specific state of but intuition knowledge, are in no way to come back. They cannot recur. They are totally removed from the root. They are completely uprooted. So this is what the Smochira Vyuga means. Smochira, the term Pali word, Smochira itself means total cutting off. And thus it's totally removed. But see, Patipasati Viveka is more like a clear buffer, a clear state, where there remains a protected and secluded area, where there is no more incidence of the impure mental states. It is usually refers to the fruition state. The moment a person attains the fruition state, such as Sotapatti flood, Sakaragami flood, Nagami flood, and Rata flood, is already Pasati. Pasati, no efforts are necessary to make, just enjoying the removal and seclusion. So, like the Emiliana person who have accumulated enough amount of financial asset, he just enjoy whatever he wants, all the material pleasures and his physical comfort and mental joy, which are associated with having such a sufficient amount of financial resource. In the same way, when a meditator attains the part and poor kind of specific part knowledge, then his freedom is permanent freedom. His removal is permanent removal. There's no cancellation. No cancellation means no single raw emotions or negative mental state will ever come up unexpectedly. So this is just only simple explanation regarding Patipasati Viveka. Nirvana Viveka is the point where one remains in the blissful state of Nibbana. Nibbana, the nature of Nibbana, the element of Nibbana itself is Viveka, complete removal. It's like the elite clubs reserved for those who can pay very expensive membership dues. Once a person can enter into Nibbana states, it is already exit, complete exit of impurities. They have already barred from getting into those areas. This is what Nisrana means. So Patipasati Viveka and Nisrana Vivekas are permanent. And Samocheda also, the moment of the cutting off, it is a part. The moment a person attains part knowledge, And we come now, we got temporary removal and sustained removal are temporary. There are chances impure mental states may arise in case that person drop and suspend his vipassana meditation, or if that person who have attained some absorption state and pull back from those kind of jhana. So by knowing this, you will appreciate your effort, that your effort can lead to removal of the mental impurities for a certain period of time, for a sustained duration, longer periods of time, and thus it provides you a wonderful joy and optimism in your practice. So let me continue to explain. The past Bojjhanga lead to development of this kind of 5 viveka. It is only inclined to reaching there. Viraga nesita. This is the second attribute. When mindfulness is developed and sustained, it can lead to non-clinging. Viraga means non-clinging. Non-clinging happens on preliminary levels and attainment levels. On preliminary levels, it happens for every meditator during meditation process, especially in long-term retreat. For those who are undergoing short-term retreats, such as 5 days, 7 days, or 2 weeks, it may be not enough time. So in the long-term practice, if the meditator makes sincere effort and balanced and relaxed effort, he can experience, sustain non-clinging and development of that non-clinging attitude, non-clinging mental states in his consciousness. This is how viraga, non-clinging, can be experienced in preliminary process of meditation. But on the other hand, on more advanced level, when a meditator attain pattern fruition knowledge, let's say if he make higher state of progress, then his non-clinging will be permanent. So this word means sati bojjhanga, mindfulness bojjhanga, which a meditator is trying to develop with every noting process. It's inclining to this non-clinging. And nirodha nesita, there's the third attribute. Nirodha means cessation. Cessation, in this case, happens on many levels. Temporary cessation, sustained cessation, and also the permanent cessation. But for most meditators, it happens temporary cessation. They are very much similar to the viveka, and the kind of viveka. So every noting moment, every noting mind can lead to cessation of suffering. Vasaga prinami. This is number 4 attributes. This is a very interesting word to explain. Vasaga prinami is a combination of 2 words. Vasaga means by having discarded prinami, move toward place of nibbana. To understand this, I want to make some analogical expression. It is like an aeroplane. An aeroplane about to take off from the runway to the destination. When an aeroplane start moving on the runway, it starts moving slowly. The pilot doesn't rev up the engine speed. At the starting point of the runway, if he got a clearance signal from the traffic control, air traffic control, then he started revving up his engine. He increased the speed of his engine. The aeroplane started moving fast. At the starting point when he is about to take off, it is already ready to take off and leaving the surface of Earth behind and moving toward the boundless space, leading to the destination, leading all passengers to the destination. This analogy is very much similar to a meditator's practice. When a meditator is making effort and his intensive retreat, every effort of noting, it's just like a slow speed moving of the plane and trying to gain the momentum and trying to accumulate positive mental energy, positive mental condition known as the bojjhanga. When necessary accumulation and accumulated power of those positive mental energy, mental conditions become strong and stronger. The mind, that wonderful pure mind, slowly proceed toward further progress, leaving all those mental impurities behind without any clinging, fully detached from those kind of mental condition, and his mind run toward the attainment of advanced progress, such as successive progressive state of the insight knowledge, all the way leading to transcending all the boundaries of the attachment, the ego, and having entered into body and fruition knowledge. When a person progress this way, his specter, which he has developed during the course of the practice, lead that person to attainment of the Nibbana. So, Vasaga means leaving everything behind. And in Pali, it's called discarding and throwing away all those mental impurities. Prina means leading to attainment of path and fruition knowledge, and also necessary experience of the advanced progressive meditation, such as the 10 Vipassana Kilesa. 10 Vipassana Kilesas are signs of progress in meditation. Even though they can delay a person's progress if the person remains stuck there. Once a person develops sufficient amount of positive mental states known as bojjhanga, these bojjhanga will make one meditator to discard all unwholesome mental states and will lead him to attainment of Nibbana. That's what it means. This word has very deep meanings. Vasaga, having removed oneself from those kind of nagging and problematic things, mental ability, he will take off. His practice will take off and lead him to reach to the Nibbana. That's what it means. Now, let me continue to explain the remaining bojjhangas. Patisankhayoni so Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhangam Bhavedi. A disciple, by means of the wisdom, knowledge, he also developed Dhamma Vijaya Sambojjhanga. Dhamma Vijaya is a Pali word. It means clearly knowing what is physical matter, what is mind or consciousness. Clearly seeing that there is no robot, there's no journey, just only mental states and physical states continuously coordinating and synchronizing, and every act of sitting, such as pain and wandering thoughts and noting minds and etc. The ability to see, the ability to distinguish what is matter, what is mind, and lack of any entity which can manipulate, which can maintain complete control of those mental and physical phenomena. This capacity is called the Dhamma Vijaya, investigated knowledge. In other words, it is occurrence of the initial state of insight knowledge. But they don't come up, this insight knowledge, they don't come up at the first try. They need effort. They need time to mature, like the fruit of the tree. The fruit of tree, it doesn't ripe overnight. It takes time. It takes the heat of the sun. It takes it needs the winds. It needs the weather. It needs atmospheric condition. Only after a certain amount of time, that wonderfully tasting fruit become ripened. In order for a fruit to be ripened, to have the wonderful taste, such as a persimmon or that wonderful apple fruit, needs time to ripen. Ripening process needs all the factors of the weather, the heat, and nutrients provided by the roots. Only after that, they are ripened. In the same way, in the meditation, a person's consciousness needs to wait certain amount of time. It needs necessary effort. It needs balance, positive mental states, which are accumulated, which are balanced, which have reached certain degree of maturity. These bojjhangas need to reach a certain degree of maturity and strength, unless and until your mindfulness, your Dhamma Vijaya, analytical knowledge, insight knowledge, and warrior, your balanced effort are not mature yet. You will not achieve. You will not see noticeable progress. In all these 7 bojjhanga, so there are certain bojjhanga which are very much like capital. When you are doing business, you need to have capital. Without capital, you cannot start a business. Out of the 7 bojjhangas, warrior and state, especially state, is your capital bojjhanga. Based on your capital bojjhanga, you can get dividends. Other bojjhangas are like dividends and profits you make. So you have to invest by maintaining mindfulness all along during the retreat. Just encourage yourself. You don't need to disappoint by having wandering thoughts, by not being able to overcome pains. Pains are parts of training. Wandering thoughts are parts of training. They are not here to disturb you. They are here to help you, to make you strong, to make your meditation effort more stronger and more mature and more progressive. Like the way very famous sportsman, before he became very famous celebrity sportsman, he has to make everyday effort, patiently, anonymously. He doesn't get public recognition. He doesn't need to disappoint. He must love his sport. He must do exercise regularly every day, rain or shine. This way, one day, necessary skill develop, and he compete, and he got public recognition. In the same way, during meditation practice, you have to be patient. You must appreciate your effort to practice it. You must continue regular training, regular practice. This is what is necessary in the practice. So, let me continue explaining these bojjhangas. Next point is Viriya Sambhojjhanga. Disciple trying to develop Viriya Bojjhanga, making effort. There are two kinds of efforts: bodily efforts and mental efforts. In sitting meditation, your bodily effort is almost inactive. Just only mental effort is more active. But in walking meditation, you have to have two efforts: bodily efforts and mental efforts. That's why walking meditation is the most rigorous and the most intensive, where you have to engage your mind and your body and your training. This way, there's no chance for wandering thoughts to arise. If you still have wandering thoughts, you are not focused enough on your walking meditation. That's why wandering thoughts arise. Just encourage yourself. You don't need to disappoint. So Viriya Sambhojjhanga is a very important investment bojjhanga for you. You have to have this Viriya as an investment bojjhanga in your practice. Now, Piti Sambhojjhanga Bhavedi. Viveka Nidisam, Viraga Nidisam, Nirora Nidisam, Vasaka Priname. Here in this world, the noble disciple develops Piti Bojjhanga. At the superficial level of this text, you may not understand what it means, because piti, rapture or joy, cannot be developed. It is like the very delicious, very wonderful, blissful taste of a certain dish and a certain fruit. In order to enjoy that taste, you cannot develop it. You have to find that wonderful fruit, that wonderful, delicious food, and get it, put it in your plate, in your hand, and just bite it. Every bite and every chew will provide you with joy. That's just only analogical expression. Piti doesn't have to be intentionally created and developed. It comes out of mature, balance, and positive mental condition, known as multiple factor of the bojjhanga. When it is about to happen for a meditator, there are precursors, signs, which you can note, especially in a long-term retreat. Your mindfulness becomes very sharp, and it easily pick up any thoughts before they arise. Even they arise, that you simply can remove it, like the way you can remove the mosquito. The moment it comes and buzzing around you, you just sweat it and quickly. And you noticed less and less pain, and wandering thoughts are becoming manageable. then you are slowly moving along. Then expect pity to arise, but don't wish it, because expecting will disappoint you. Pity comes of its own accord. It's like unexpected visitor, unexpected divine angel coming to visit your home from nowhere. So pity, in this case, is spontaneous process. In Buddhist, what it means is that to develop it means just more indirect consequence. We cannot translate this direct development. But in certain cases, where a meditator feels depressed and disappointed and disheartened with his practice, he doesn't want to practice anymore. He just want to give up. He just want to leave. When such kind of disappointment, discouraging attitude happen, there should be some sort of inducement by having a proper reflection to induce joy, such as I already mentioned in one of the when I talk that a person need to appreciate one's healthy condition and general favorable social condition, which make you which help you to come practice meditation. Not all conditions are suitable and supportive in our life. We have different kind of things, different kind of concerns to get involved, to finish and to do. Sometimes serious health problems, sometimes serious family problems, sometimes other serious conditions which we cannot manage, which are beyond our control. Only when all conditions are supportive, you can come here. This is what you have to reflect. Another thing very important is about your life, being alive in this world as a human being. Human life is a very wonderful opportunity to practice and to spiritually develop. Not everybody can do this. You can see in the outside world. They don't know how to practice meditation, what meditation is. They just live their life, their everyday life, suffering endlessly in terms of emotion, in terms of having bad days, in terms of having bad times in their lives. And some of them, even they have a serious problems because they cannot handle the suffering. Suffering is very much universal issue, which no one can escape. You are just coming here to train your mind so that it is able to live through suffering without feeling too much suffering. How wonderful this mindfulness training is. You just reflect on such a, you induce your joy in this way. And you encourage yourself, and this way you develop a certain degree of the artificial pity by being inducing this way, by inducing this way. Sometimes we need it. So this is what piti bojjhanga means. Actually, rapture and piti in progressive state, I want to explain later on the future talks. Not at this moment. And Pasadi Sambojjhanga. This is also another wonderful bojjhanga. Piti and Pasadi are twin brothers. They are like twin brother bojjhangas. They have been one after another. When piti comes, Pasadi also comes. When Pasadi comes, piti also follow. They are inseparable twins, very positive mental states, which are spontaneous. They usually occur in progressive state of meditation. When a person develops both piti and Pasadi bojjhanga, he knows This meditation is really wonderful, and it is really beneficial for keeping the mind not only pure and clean, but also joyous and happy, and agitated, and wonderful joy and wonderful calm, incomparable with mundane pleasure. So it needs explanation on later time, much later time. Now let me explain another bojinga. Samadhi sambojinga bhavidi viveka nesida viraga nesida niroda nesida vasaka prinami. The meditator develops samadhi bojinga. Samadhi bojingas, you are already familiar. Most of you, I'm sure, most of you are familiar with the term samadhi. Samadhi means being calm, being on one point of the meditation object. The mind remains fixed on one state, observing and remaining there without wandering off. This state of the mind is called the samadhi. There are various kinds of the samadhi. The first one is temporary, momentary concentration, which all of you can develop during your retreat. Every moment you are able to note, even though it doesn't last long, it's momentary concentration. But when a meditator can remain in one observing one object of the observation for certain period of time, this samadhi is more sustaining, more strong. And some people, they even don't know that the hour strike. They don't hear the sound of the clock. They don't hear the sounds around them. And their mind is fully absorbed into the object of meditation. When this happens, this is more higher state of the concentration, known as upachara. Upa means nearby. Chara means occurrence. Occurrence of the concentration, which is very much nearer and nearer to more advanced consciousness, more advanced state of the mind, such as jhana and mega and flat states. In the long-term retreat, for some meditators who have made great progress in their practice, they can remain in certain meditation because their mind is remain absorbed in the meditation without knowing the outside sound, and without knowing about even how long it had already taken. They can sit longer. This is how Upachara Samadhi develops. But keeping one's concentration samadhi is very delicate process. It's much harder than shooting the golf ball into the particular golf hole. It needs skill. It needs relaxation. It needs balanced effort. It needs no effort. Everything should be unintentional, automatic. You may misunderstand what I'm saying. It needs no effort. It means that it is automatic. And that automatic concentration and samadhi is a very wonderful process. The machine itself is running on its own autopilot. In the same way, the meditation is just going on its own. There's no meditator. Meditation itself is there. Noting and observing itself is there. And everything is moving smoothly. And this is how Upachara Samadhi can be defined. Apana Samadhi is the moment before, very short moment. A person is about to enter, about to attain such specific jhanas and mega inflow. So both these two samadhis are accessible and you can develop, every meditator can reach there. So they are not out of reach. To sum up, all these 7 factors of enlightenment can be developed in a meditator's mind. Now let me conclude what Buddha said. Disciple, if a meditator cannot develop these 7 positive mental conditions known as bojjhanga, mental taints and mental impurities and all those stressful conditions such as pain and endless suffering may arise. But by developing these positive mental states known as bojjhanga, those possible mental taints and stressful mental conditions and suffering have no chance to arise in a person's mind. Disciple, these mental taints and mental impurities are to be removed by means of developing positive mental states. Now, Buddha concludes this discourse. Etc. Now, let me briefly explain you in English. When a disciple can remove mental impurities and mental taints by means of knowledge and wisdom, by use of the restraint, by means of the proper using, proper utilization, by means of applying patience, by means of avoiding, by means of removing, by means of removing, then all those mental taints and mental impurities are surely removed. He will be able to totally get the cycle of craving and clinging. He will be able to free from those shackles and those factors that keep him bound on the journey of life for many samsara. And he will be able to remove the wrong notions of I and me. And he will be able to put complete total end to all kind of suffering in samsara. And Buddha said these words, and the monks appreciated and joined the Buddha's word. This is the end of the Sarvasva Sutta. May all of you be able to understand these 7 strategies of the Buddha mission. May all of you be able to apply these 7 strategies and remove mental taints and mental impurities and develop positive mental conditions. So